Hey everyone, Elmo Arteaga here with ProStudioLive.com, and I want to share with you a quick tip on how to create rich harmonics by using your mic preamp. Now it's important to note, this is going to be a little techie and it requires an outboard preamp and an outboard fader. These can be of any type. It can be a low quality preamp and a low quality fader. It can be a high quality preamp, high quality fader. It doesn't matter. It just needs to be outboard. Now let's say you have a tube preamp and you want to get the characteristic of the drive and the saturation out of that preamp and onto your signal. One thing that you could do is drive the gain of your preamp to get that harmonic, but sometimes it's just a little too hot. So let me show you one way of addressing that while still retaining that harmonic information. So here we have a Neve-style preamp, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to increase the mic gain. Now, at where I have it set now, there would be a lot of signal. It would be very loud and you would be probably clipping your converters. So lots of red lights and it might not sound great. One thing you can do is drop the output level. Now how I go about doing that here is by using one of these fader output knobs. I might just go ahead and turn it down a little bit to address the amount of gain happening here. The reason why I go that way is because the louder you make your preamp gain, the more color is introduced to your signal, but that also adds in volume. So if you want to add color, you need to drop down volume. That's where the fader comes in handy. So just as a recap, you have a preamp and you want to get all the characteristics of the preamp in, but you don't want the volume. So you crank your preamp, give it to an output fader, drop the volume. Now, another example, let's say you don't have something like this, and you might only have an outboard preamp and maybe a Mackie mixer, a PreSonus mixer, something that just has a fader. You want to take the output of that preamp, run it to a fader just like this, and maybe if your fader is normally here and you crank your preamp, you might want to bring down this fader a little bit before it goes to your converters heading into Pro Tools, Reaper, Logic, whatever DAW you are using. Now I encourage you to try something like this in your home studio or wherever you're working on productions. Drop a comment below and tell me what you found by doing this, by cranking your preamp gain and dropping the output volume. I'm curious to see what you come up with. There's plenty of possibilities with so many different types of preamps available. I'd love to hear what you can come up with. So I'm Elmo with ProStudioLive.com, and I'll see you next time.